Hi everyone, Adrian Groenewald, Me Vision Academy, and it's yet another privilege for me to sit with a leader who's been nominated by one of our recipients as a successful leader. So he's going to receive the Successful Leader Award in a moment. Just a reminder, Me Vision Academy is about mobilizing at least 30,000 successful leaders by 2030 from all industries and different countries and on different levels. So it's all about nurturing and about mobilizing successful leaders. It's very important to us. We think it'll make a difference in the world. And today we have one of those leaders here. He is Samuel Kgarimetsa. He is the General Manager, Corporate Affairs and Sustainable Impact at Mogalakwena Anglo Platinum, one of the great platinum mines in the world, I recently discovered. And he was nominated by Alwyn Jordaan. So, Samuel, a warm welcome.
Thank you very much, Adrian, for that, and really appreciate this opportunity and the privilege to really be selected and be anointed for the works that we do as leaders, really building a better place for generations to come. Really appreciate this. Thank you so much. A lot of gratitude, and I'm very humbled by this.
Fantastic. I'm going to give you the award, and then I'm going to ask you what you have learned about successful leadership, especially at this stage in such a successful company, but certainly this unique mine that you find yourself at the moment. It's an exclusive recognition, Samuel, of successful leadership awarded to yourself, Samuel, and it's for at least the following. There would no doubt be more. Consistently leading self and others successfully. Those two levels of leadership. Successfully leading in mining over many years, but currently as General Manager, Corporate Affairs and Sustainable Impact, Mogalakwena Anglo American. Also being trusted by all. There's great trust in your team of your leadership, and I've seen that in real life. Striving to impact broader society, your passion for that, being passionate and energetic in general, being values driven, and also a pillar in the organization. And finally, inspiring the next generation of leaders. For us, that is very important. It's an honor for me to sign on behalf of Me Vision Academy, A Journey to Best Self. So that's the formal recognition, and we congratulate you formally then, Samuel.
Thank you very much, Adrian. I appreciate this. Thank you so much for that. Really gratitude to me.
Samuel, the big question is you're nominated as a successful leader, not as a perfect leader. Let me just emphasize that because there is no such thing on this planet. But we'd like you to share with us your success formula, if I may call it that. What do you think defines and results in successful leadership? What is it? What does it look like?
I think very important is appreciating that people are the greatest and creative resources you can ever surround yourself with. And appreciating that all of us have different strengths and weaknesses, and it's going to take the team that is complementing each other to be able to really lead successfully. Secondly, leadership is not automatic. It's not a managerial position that gives you a leadership opportunity. Actually, people give you permission to lead them. And that goes into really building trust. Trust is very important for me, and I've invested a lot of time in really understanding how to build trust. In fact, my MBA, I studied the construct of trust and its implication on organizational performances. So I'm really keen in understanding being open, integrity, empathy, and really being vulnerable with your team about your strong points and weak points is very key. And also allowing them to be open with you, to creating a psychological safe space. So for me, trust is at the core center of it. And once you earn people trust, they allow you to lead them. And that for me has been the foundation of progressive leadership, and you call it successful leadership. And it continues because it's also based on your demonstrated performance. It's not based on what you say, but it's based on how you treat and how people feel you. And for me, when people feel you, they acknowledge you, they respect you, they care about you, they will allow you to influence them. And at the end, leadership is influence, nothing more nothing less. Thank you for that, Adrian.
So here's a question for you. Do you think, because I kind of know another passion of yours, do you think that being a successful leader is also based on the environment you're in? So in other words, to be a successful leader in South Africa versus the US, um, and therefore, if you come back to South Africa, do you think you can be a truly successful leader if you're not concerned about the broader community around you, the broader society that we live within? Do you think that bigger picture and caring plays a role in this environment or in any environment?
Look, absolutely. So first and foremost, for me, I believe that actually leadership influences the environment. And the environment we see today is a reflection of the leadership. Okay. So what am I saying? I'm saying it is the role of the leadership to influence the environment to see what they want to see. Okay. So given that context though, a lot of I don't know if you want to call it organizations or even countries have not progressed very well because of poor leadership or inability to have a vision. Okay. It's very important to appreciate that as leaders, we don't operate in a vacuum. We operate within an ecosystem, and we need to be cognizant of the context in which we operate in so that we can influence the environment to be a better place. That ability to have the light, the vision, and the passion and the faith is very, very key, because those that don't have it, they actually perish very soon. Their leadership, um, long period it doesn't take long before they actually go down. Usually it's a hype, but it's really not some good legacy and sustainability. So indeed, the environment is important, but I think leaders create the environment they want to see, and they can actually influence it for the better.
So well said. I would be amiss if I didn't pick your brain a little bit on trust. So, do you think there is a huge trust deficit? Is it a chasm? Are we overcoming it, do you think? Just your comments on that.
Yeah, look, I think there's different pockets of excellence, but in general, there is a trust deficit. And that's why a lot of people actually believe that trust is earned, that you have to demonstrate yourself to have certain consistent behavior over time. Then people actually then refill your trust gauge. Okay. The people that are optimistic give you full trust until you disappoint them. But I think in general, in society, particularly Africa society, I've seen that the context is that there is a definite deficit between the trust between the leadership, private and public organizations, and this and the people that are actually supposed to be led. And it's unfortunate because there's a lot of good things that has happened, but the consistent behavior is what erodes trust.
Mm. Do you think the trust deficit is larger, bigger in politics than it is corporate? Everyone would probably say that and guess that.
Of course it is. Because I mean, I spoke earlier about consistency, right? And consistency has a potential to erode or build more trust. If you look at it just general in politics, I mean, who would have thought that America will be led today by the same person? Who would have thought of what is happening in Israel? Who would have thought of what is happening in Russia? Who would have thought what is happening in Zimbabwe? Okay. Who would have thought today that the Mozambican citizens do not trust the election outcomes such that they take it to the street? So
Mm.
these are the patterns that I've shared with you between developed continents, developing continents, where you can see that there is definitely a bigger trust deficit in politics and in corporate, and that's really um, um, an unfortunate situation. If you look at South Africa as an example, South Africa's election, only 58% participated in a democratic system to elect a president. So imagine you are a leader of a country at the back of only 58% statistics.
Mm.
That shows that there is a lack of trust in the system as it operates. Those are symbols and signs that as leadership, we need to be able to read the room and not be ignorant of what's going on around us and do something about it.
Any other final comments, a message that you have for leaders?
I think this is a great opportunity. We need to continue building leadership for the future generations. If I actually had control, I would really influence that there must be a module or called leadership from a high school level. I know that there's life orientations and so forth, but hopefully, as part of the Vision Academy, we can look at opportunities around how do we introduce leadership as a subject, really from a very high school level, so that when people get into universities, they can self-manage. They can start practicing self-leadership there. And then when they're entrusted with other people's life, when they incorporate, then it becomes seamless that they will actually be doing big things like small things.
Samuel Kgarimetsa, General Manager, Corporate Affairs and Sustainable Impact at Mogalakwena, Anglo Platinum. Congratulations and thank you for your time. Some great wisdom there. We look forward to picking your brain a bit more in the future. Thank you for your time. We look forward to sharing your wisdom with leaders out there. Thank you, Samuel.
Thank you very much, Adrian. I appreciate this. And what a great honor to everybody that has the confidence in me that I have actually can go through this journey. I appreciate it. Thank you.